deal with them, right? So in that we learned about descendant, and we have learned about child, and like sibling, and general sibling and adjacent. These are the selectors we learned. The selectors now further classified into so many other categories, which we are going to discuss detailedly. Right. So what are the other selectors? How to deal with the other selectors? Let's see. So in the CSS selectors, after understanding the adjacent and general siblings, we need to know about attribute selectors. So what are attribute selectors and how to deal with the attribute selectors? Actually, in HTML, several elements are presented by using attributes. For example, input is an element. This element can present a radio button. To present radio button, what we have to do additionally? Good. So we have to use type is equal to radio. So type is a tag name. Type is a tag name. No, type is not tag name. It is an attribute. So the same input is used for checkbox also. That means several elements depends on attributes, not on tag. For them, tag is same. All are using input tag, but attributes are different. Such situations will come. In that case, not only this, attribute means any attribute. Suppose we have paragraph. One paragraph is having ID P1. Another paragraph can have ID P2. I want to apply for all paragraphs that have ID. So ID may be P1 or P2. If it is having ID, I want to apply some effects. That type of situation comes regularly. So how do we handle that situation? How we can deal and handle the situation? So generally, we can do that by using the attribute selector. Because if I apply to the tag, it is going to apply everywhere. So if I try to apply to the tag, it is going to apply everywhere. So you can observe here, suppose I'm going to this application hours is an full stack 4 p.m. Yeah. So we are designing a simple form. Let's take a simple form and see here. So let's go and design a simple form here. And in that, there may be several elements. So suppose I'm creating a data list with the data term, some name, and it is having so input type is equal to text. Another data term, we have email. So this is having input type is equal to email. And we have 2 buttons. So suppose we have input type is equal to button. and this button have a value called submit, or say some register, and input type is equal to button, and it is having value as cancel something. Now you can see this is a simple form designed. So we created a simple form here. A form is designed here. Now I want to apply effects for buttons. Suppose I return as input and background color as some yellow. You can see it is going to apply for all of them. So, but I want to apply only for the element that is having input type as button. Then what you can do here is, for attributes, you have to use a square brace. That means for that input element, what is the attribute? So attribute is type is equal to button. If input type is equal to button, then it will apply only for the button. It will not apply for the text box or check boxes like that. It can apply only for that button. So that is how you defined. So input type is equal to button. We are configuring that. So this is attribute selector. That means we are applying the effects based on attribute and value. There are several points here. I will tell you. Actually, this indicates everywhere. For example, see, this is one option. Suppose let's take another one. Suppose we have paragraph 1 and we have para 2 and we have para 3. So we have paragraphs. So para 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Now in that, the paragraphs, so we have first paragraph ID. A second paragraph is having ID P2. And fourth paragraph is also having an ID, some P4. Now I want to apply color only for the paragraphs that have ID. ID may be anything, but they have ID. Then you can write in this way. So we can configure and define in this way. So how we can do that? So you people don't try to annotate on screens. So that will be disturbing for us. And due to that, one problem you will face is you will be removed from the class simply. Right? So don't try to annotate on my screen, okay? The result is you will be kicked out of the class. So let's continue. See, the paragraphs which have ID, for that we need to apply. So then we will do like this. P is the element and the attribute ID, if it is having attribute ID, then we will put a color as red. That means the paragraphs that have ID will be red in color. Which ID doesn't matter. So we don't care which ID it is. And you can see that. So that second and fourth paragraph will have red color. Suppose if ID is equal to some P4, you can write like that. It will apply only for P4. Only ID. That means it will apply everywhere which is having an ID. The ID can be anything, but it will just verify whether it is having an ID or not. That is how we define attribute selector. This is another technique of configuring attribute selector. another technique of configuring attribute selector. In attribute selector, we also have conditions. So that is important, how we can configure the conditions in attribute select. The conditions is nothing but, so first condition is, means in attribute selector, we have conditions. Conditions is nothing but, suppose I defined ID is equal to some P4 or P4 or P3 like this. This is equal. That means wherever the ID is P4, this indicates exact match. Exact match. This indicates exact match. That means if it is exactly matching, that is exact match. You have some conditions, like we can use exponent equal. Exponent we equal like this. This indicates that starts with. We have option like dollar equal. This indicates that ends with. I will show you examples. So we have asterisk equal. That means any location, starts or ends any location. And we also have like, so tilde equal. We also have like, so not equal. So this, that means pipe symbol actually. So generally it is used for separated with hyphens. Separated with hyphens, we use that. We have tilde equal. So tilde equal. So that means first this above one is starts with specified and separated with hyphen. That means starts with specified and separated with hyphen. Similarly, another option is starts with specified and contains blank space. So this is for starts with specified and contains blank space These are generally options that we call as conditions for attributes. These are the conditions for attributes. That's how we define the condition for attributes. So let's see the point here, how to use them and how do we work with them. So let's go to the design, and here suppose we have 4-5 paragraphs here. So para 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Now see, this paragraph is having a class. Effects is the class. So we are giving the class name as effects. Okay, that is one option. Second, we have a class effects para. Okay, next we have an option class para effects. Like this we are defining. Suppose effects para effects. And you have an option like suppose, so class, so text effects para, like this we are having. Now different class names are there, but all are having effects word. So now I want to apply for the paragraph, then we will write here P. So we write here P and we configure here for the paragraph here. So class is equal to paragraph here, but not for all paragraph. I will put color as red. It will apply for all of them. But I don't want all of them. I will put here attribute is class. Class is equal to effects. So then to which paragraph the effects will apply? To which paragraph the effects will apply? This indicates exact match. Exact match. So it is going to apply for the first one. And you can see it is applying for the first one. That's good. That's working. Now I defined here exponent equal effects. That means the class name starts with effects word. Now for which paragraph it will apply? For which paragraph it will apply? What do you say? For which paragraph it will apply? Good. It is going to apply for first and second. Good. So it is going to apply for first and second, and you can see that it is going to apply for first and second because it indicates starts with. Yeah. Suppose I say dollar. Now for which paragraph it will apply? This indicates ends with. Ends with. Why? It will not apply for first paragraph. Huh? It will apply for first and third. Am I right? Yeah. Why? Because first paragraph is having, it is equal to start and end. It is equal to start and end. Yeah. It is equal to start and end. So it is working fine. It is working fine. Now you can see that. Now you can see it will be applied for the first and third. First and third. So that is starts with, ends with, how you configure. And if I apply here asterisk equal, then asterisk equal. That means it will apply for all of them. All of them. That means it will apply every location. Every location. Yeah. Now, if I am configuring exclamation, that means pipe equal. That means the pipe equal actually. That is pipe equal, not exclamation, pipe equal. So this indicates, so starts with and having an hyphen. So that means initially you can see that it is going to apply only for first one. If anyone is having a hyphen, then this one is also applied. But the word should start with effects and should contain hyphen. It should start with effects and should contain hyphen. That is the option that's important here. So we can manage that. We can manage and define this, right? So that is, and suppose if it is starting with and having space. So if it is starting with and having space, in that case, we have to use tilde equal. Tilde equal, that means it is having space. So suppose you have para space effects. That means you can see that. So that third one also apply. Now you may be surprised that, so why third one is applying? It is not starting, but actually class names are separated with spaces now. If class names are separated with spaces, generally it thinks that this is one class and this is another class, right? So technically what happens is it will apply everywhere where it has spaces. So depend on the situation how you configure that. So generally the options when you define, the conditions also important. And remember, attribute means any attribute. You can apply for attribute like name. You can apply for attribute like some read-only. We can apply for disabled like that. For disabled read-only and width, height, you can also say that whose width is equal to 100, apply them. You can apply based on that condition. So this is usually done with the help of selectors. So these are all actually attribute selectors and conditions. We call them as attribute selectors and conditions. Next important, we have after attribute selectors. So we have rational selectors and we have attribute selectors. Rational and attribute selectors. Next important, so we have pseudo classes. We have pseudo classes. So we call them as dynamic pseudo classes. What is the meaning of that is, dynamic means they can change the behavior according to situation. Then we call them dynamic. Pseudo means so similar in name of other elements, but will not affect that specific element. What does that mean? For example, now in HTML, you have the word link. Link means which element? What do you say? Link means which element? Nah. Anchor is not link element. It is anchor element, na? That is anchor element, not link element. Understood? Huh? So link element is link. Link tag is there, na? That is link element. But we call this also as a link. Now, if I write pseudo class means what happens is, so if I say apply to link, it will not apply to link element. It will apply to anchor element. That means its names looks like anchor. It looks like link, but it is not link. It is working for anchor. That is why we call it as pseudo. But that means its name is different and applying in different location. So that means it seems to be a link tag, but actually it is applying to an anchor tag. That is what we call this as. So for that, actually, we have classes. That means now, if I write like this, I am writing like this. We have like input, square brace. This is to bind a attribute. To bind any attribute, we have to use this square brace. To bind the attribute, we have to use square brace. Now, what we have to do, another point is to generally define with any class. We have to define element name and colon class name. Class name is, this is pseudo class name. Actually, this is the pseudo class name, not CSS class name. Pseudo class name. Many times people ask this doubt and question also. So generally they ask this question, sir, why, how do I know when to use colon? Generally colon is used when it is a class. When it is a class, colon is used. So that is generally, we call that as pseudo class. We call that as pseudo class. We have so many pseudo classes. like we have link. So we have visited, we have hover, we have active, we have focus. Like this, we have general pseudo classes. We have like target. This is also under pseudo class. Actually, the intention of this is to apply effects dynamically, to change the effects dynamically. We need to change the effects dynamically, apply the effects dynamically. We call this as pseudo. And classes are applied by using colon. Actually, hover is that link, visited and all. You see now, suppose in HTML, you have learnt links. And when you learnt links, some basic points also we discussed. How to manage the links. Anchor, href is equal to we have defined here as http://www some ebay.in and say shopping, something like this. Another anchor href is equal to http:// so microsoft.com, some say MSN, like this. So href is equal to some Yahoo, and the href is equal to some yahoo.com, something like this. And you see, so when we run this, these links are in this way. You know that generally the visited link colors are different. The visited link colors are different. And the visited link colors are different. And ordinary links color are different. So you can change the colors now. So anchor, for that we have link. Link indicates, colon link indicates if it is ordinary link, that means it's not visited. Link indicates if it is not visited. That means ordinary link. Link indicates link not visited. If link not visited, which color it is having? Blue color it is having. We will change that to color as some dark green, something like this. That means if link is not visited, we will put as a dark green color. You can keep anything. So suppose dark red